Have our Hound here for round 4. We have a Cyclops and a Preordain. A few too many lands, but besides that, looks pretty good. It's definitely a keeper. Whenever you have a draw spell and you have a Cyclops or a Kiln Fiend, it's probably a good hand to keep. Alright, not playing against Goblins again this time. Won't be able to continually hone my skills against that match. This probably is not the mirror match. Most people are more into like Delver. Chose not to shuffle. Just wanted to double check that. It's a very small portion of the metagame that's the Delver Fiend deck. It's not to say that it's a bad deck, it's just not a lot of people choose to play it. So I'd imagine that he's like the Delver control list more. So he does have a Delver. Considering that I'm guessing that he's the control list, I don't think that I just want to slam in with Fiend here, because he's probably, well, might not be that bad. He might have a Boomerang, that's something that they often use. Some kind of bounce spell, like a Vapor Snag. He could have a bunch of counter spells, so maybe it is good for me to just undercurve it. Because he doesn't have 2 mana untapped. Yeah, there's not like any Force Spikes really that are played here. There's Dispels, but I mean obviously that can't counter Kiln Fiend. He could play Daze, but I'm not going to get around that very likely anyways. Okay, well, did have the Daze. Make him use it. Reveals Preordain. Ew. Hopefully he doesn't have another removal spell. That's a fair bit of pressure here. I'm going to go for the Bolt on this. He didn't use his Preordain that he revealed, so that tells me that he probably has a counter spell. Spell Stutter Sprite. Yep, that will do it. What's Preordain? Could have Preordained first. Bottom. Dispel's good to counter something like that might get rid of the Cyclops, so I think I'm going to keep that on top. Wondering if I want to Preordain again here. I think that I do. It's good to set up the hand. Yeah, I definitely don't want those. We'll bottom both. Draw another land. Unfortunate. We do get Cyclops with Dispel back up next turn, though. I was okay taking a spell out of his hand that was a counter, because it would let us resolve Nivik Cyclops. Too bad that was Spell Stutter Sprite, because it's more pressure against me. Ew, another land. That's really not what I want to see. 4 lands in a row is rough for this deck. This is probably a Deprive or a counterspell. Alright, you can just get rid of that. Unfortunately, we don't have any gas now because we've got all these lands in hand. Spire Golem. I need to draw like a Shadow Rift or a Gush. Attack with both. That's a decent sign because I can use Apostle's Blessing to give it pro artifacts and get through. Alright, he's going to leave Insectile Aberration back specifically for that reason. Yeah, it looks like that's what's happening. So he probably knows this matchup. Next turn I take 6, I go to 7. I go to 5 if I use Apostle's Blessing. He's probably leaving a counter spell up. This is dicey. I need to get like a Dispel again, or like I said, like a Gush to just start things off and really get gas going. I don't think I want to pull the trigger on it yet because it's not lethal. This is only going to be, what is it, 14 damage? And he would have blocked, so he would have saved himself some amount of life. Hit me with both of those. Yeah, just the one. And continue to leave up counter spells. Oof, another Delver. Probe. Don't mind Probe here. Certainly not paying the life. I've got enough mana. Deprive Spell Stutter. Gross. Deprive is a problem. Well, let's attack with the Cyclops. If he wants to block with all of his guys, then that's fine for me. I can certainly get around that. I mean, if he tries to counter the best blessing that I'll play, then I can play Battle Rage. I imagine he just takes 4 here. Or just chumps it. If I were him, I'd probably just take the damage. You've got the counter spells. There's no reason to worry about it. I mean, I have 3 cards in hand, but yeah, you probably have enough counter magic to get through. It's not post-board, so he knows that I'm not going to have too much counter. Alright, play another Delver here. Spell stutter it out. Yep. At least I get that out of his hand, though, so I can possibly go for the win next turn. I just need him to not flip this. Okay, well, there we go. I'm like, if I drew a land, then it was possible for me to push through. Unfortunately, that's exactly lethal, and it was another counterspell anyways, so I was super hosed. So we need a lot of counter magic to fight him. We're going to put in all of our Pyroblasts. Those are very good in this matchup. We want the Dispels and probably the Prohibits. Cards that we don't need as much. Bolt is okay. Don't need as many Apostles' Blessings. I can get rid of those. So we can take out 3 Apostles' Blessings. Do I get rid of the Shadow Rifts? Unblockability can be nice, but I don't know how useful it is. Bolt is okay, and it can be a big game against either Delver or Spell Stutter. If he tries to play a Spell Stutter when he has one in play, like I can bolt the other and get him a blowout, possibly. I mean, Pyroblast still deals with that, though. We can take out all the bolts. Electrickery deals with Spell Stutter and Delvers unflipped, so it's possible I could put those in, but I think that it's just better to have the counter spells. So we take out 4 bolts and 3 Apostles' Blessing. We can side in all of our counter magic if we want. I think that's the way that I'd want to play this. Okay, let's just move all these in and submit. We'll have a bunch of counter magic wars. Go first. Ooh, very few lands and a bunch of draw spells and a Kiln Fiend. That seems great. I love that. Dispel is back up too. Pass the turn here. I don't need to fire off Gitaxian Probe just yet. Turn 1 Delver again. Yikes. Alright, let's go. Do I want a Gitaxian Probe now? Or do I want to wait one more turn? He could have the Daze. Probably go for it. He showed us Daze last time. He has Snap, Counter, Ponder, Curse of Chains. So Snap, Counter, Ponder. Curse of Chains and 2 Islands. Alright. Don't really want to play Kiln Fiend into Curse of Chains. Because that does get around our Dispels. We can play a Ponder here instead. Just hold up Dispel for now and hopefully get more gas. More Kiln Fiends could work. Alright, let's go Cyclops, Fiend, Cliffs. No shuffle. We draw the Cliffs and we'll pass the turn. Please don't flip Delver. Please don't flip Delver. Okay, that's a good sign. Either another creature or another land. Not super worried about either. If it was a second Delver, that might be a problem. it's too big of a deal though. And we'll just keep passing. We're okay just waiting until we have Dispel up. We'll make him use Curse of Chains on one of them. It's slightly expendable. Reveals Preordain, so we know that is one of them as well now. Okay. Plays the Ponder. Just writing down what's in our opponent's hand here so we keep track of it. Right now we know he has Snap, Counterspell, Curse of Chains, Island, and Preordain. Oh, he's going to play something else. Okay. Like, I'd be surprised if he does. You'd think you'd want to keep up counter magic once you have a Delver, especially. Alright, so now we have Cyclops. We go Fiend. He goes counter. We dispel the counter spell. Hope that he doesn't have the Daze. If he doesn't, then he probably uses Curse of Chains on it, and that means that I can do another Kiln Fiend into Dispel next turn. That's our hope to stick the second one. Alright, so he uses the Preordain. See if he tops or bottoms here. Top. Ew. That can't be good. Hydroblast? Ugh. Well, now he didn't have to use the Curse of Chains, and that's a lot worse for us. I guess he knew that we were probably waiting for that. Awkward. You do not want to see a top off of a Preordain. Could run my own Preordain. If I play the Kiln Fiend, he's just going to Curse of Chains it, which does allow me to get Nivik Cyclops down. Problem there is that I need to have another land up so I can hold Dispel to counter a counterspell that he'll have for it, because he'll have enough mana untapped at that point. Because we know he has Snap, we know he has Curse, and we know he has Counterspell. Does he? Okay. I'm thinking. I know your hand. I have to spend a little bit of time thinking about this. Unfortunately. I think my best chance here is to get him to use the Curse of Chains or the Snap. Hopefully he tries to snap this first and I can dispel that. Not a good spot to be in. We're under enough pressure that I have to take a few risks and just hope that he draws like a bunch of lands and I can kind of whittle down the counters and stuff that he has in his hand and draw some answers myself. Another Ponder off the top of his library is not good. I mean, we knew that it was going to be something because he topped both of the cards, but I guess he drew one of... No, so I guess we didn't actually. That wasn't one of the ones that he looked at, because he went top, he drew one of them, and then the other one he would have drawn. No, it would have been this turn. Yeah. Okay. Snap. Alright, perfect. That's what we want to see. Please no Daze. Drew his own Dispel. Okay. Sometimes your opponent draws hot. Got another counterspell up now. Yeah, I don't know how we get out of this one. Take 5 damage, play the Cyclops, he counters it. Play another Cyclops and I'm just dead to these. It's Preordain. I've got to find some other answer here. Prohibit, Gush. Neither of those do anything. I need like a bolt, but I also need a counter to get the bolt through. So I want to play Kiln Fiend to get him to counter it. Then I need to draw a bolt with the Ponder. And hopefully a land too for a turn or something so I can play Cyclops and bolt the Insectile Aberration. We've got to draw really well, but it's our only hope, so let's just go for it. Get him to counter it. He could play the Curse of Chains at this point and not counter it, but I feel like he will. He was willing to fire off the Snap first before Curse of Chains, so I think that that's what's going to happen. I don't know how I get out of this, because he still has Curse of Chains in his hand. Okay, Bolt will buy me a turn here. Gush will not. I already have a Gush in hand, so I can go for that. Let's just shuffle this, though. Tap. Turn both. What do we get here? Need to be something pretty good. More lands and a Battle Rage. That's not as good as I would like. That will be the end of that round. What do we want to draw first? Guess we want to draw the island first. So we go Battle Rage, Fiend, Island, no shuffle. Play the island. Pass the turn after attacking. We still have Pyroblast up. Love it if he just went for a Maul Drifter. Yeah, let's just stop that.